Yo, what's up? It's Alan Everson and welcome to another video. So, for today's video, we're gonna talk about the summary of Chapter 7, Transport Layer. So, Chapter 7 have four sublayers, which are Introduction, the Transport Layer Protocols, the TCP and UDP, and lastly, the summary. So, Chapter 7 Objectives. So, we will not going to discuss this. So 7.1 Transport Layer Protocols. So the role of the transport layer. The transport layer is responsible for establishing a temporary communication sessions between two applications and delivering data between them. TCP/IP uses two protocols to achieve this. First one is the Transmission Control Protocol, or the TCP, and the User Datagram Protocol, or UDP. Primary responsibilities of transport layer protocols: tracking the individual communication between applications on the source and destination host, segmenting data or manageability, and reassembling segmented data into streams of application that the destination, identify the proper application for each communication stream. So the role of the transport layer continue. So enabling application on devices to communicate. So that's the transport layer. Transport layer moves data between applications on devices in the network. So conversation multiplexing, segmenting data, enables many different communications from many different users to be interleaved or multiplexed on the same network at the same time. Provides the means to both send and receive data when running multiple applications. Lastly, header added to each segment to identify it. So conversation multiplexing, so the transport layers services. So one of these are samples of the conversation multiplexing. Transport layer reliability. Different applications have different transport reliability requirements. TCP/IP provides two transport layer protocols, TCP and UDP. So the TCP provides reliable delivery, ensuring that all of the data arrives at the destination. The UDP provides just the basic functions for delivery, no reliability. TCP or UDP, there is a trade-off between the value of reliability and the burden it places on the network. Application developers choose the transport protocol based on the requirement of their applications. Introducing TCP, defined in RFC 793, connection-oriented, creates a session between the source and destination, reliable delivery, retransmit lost or corrupt data, ordered data reconstruct numbering and sequencing of segments, flow control, regulates the amount of data transmitted, stateful protocol, tracks the session. So it's the illustration of TCP segment. Introducing UDP. So RFC 768, connectionless, unreliable delivery, no order data reconstruction, no flow control, stateless protocol. The applications that use UDP, domain name, system or DNS, or video streaming, and VoIP. So separating multiple communications. TCP and UDP use port numbers to differentiate between applications. So sa port addressing, data for different application is directed to the correct application because each application has a unique port number. So these are illustrations. TCP and UDP port addressing, port numbers. Next, that is used to examine TCP connections that are open and running on a network host. The NetStack. TCP and UDP segmentation. The transport layer divides the data into pieces and adds a header for delivery over the network. So TCP and UDP. TCP server process request destination ports. So use well-known port numbers as destination port. Use random port numbers as the source port. TCP connection establishment and termination. The three-way handshake establishes the destination device is presented on the network, verifies that the destination device has an active service and is accepting requests on the destination port number that the initiating client intends to use for the session. Informs the destination device that the source client intends to establish communication session on that port number. So this is the three-way handshake. Step 1, initiating client request a client-to-server communication session with the server. Step 2, the server acknowledges the client-to-server communication session and requests server-to-client communication session. Step 3, initiating client acknowledge the server-to-client communication session. So TCP session termination. So this is the process. Send FIN receive, send CK receive, send FIN and FIN receive, and send ACK receive. A sends ACK response to B. TCP reliability order delivery. Sequence numbers are used to assemble segments into their original order. The registration of TCP segments are reordered at a destination. Acknowledgement and window size. The sequence number and acknowledgement number are used together to confirm receipt. The window size is the amount of data that a source can transmit before an acknowledgement must be received. So this is the window size and acknowledgements. TCP flow control, congestion avoidance. TCP reliability acknowledgements. So UDP low overhead reliability. UDP, simple protocol that provides a basic transport layer function used by DNS, simple network management protocol, and the other, etc. Datagram reasonability. This is a UDP, connectionless and unreliable illustration. UDP server and client processes. UDP-based server applications are assigned well-known or registered port numbers. UDP client process randomly selects port number from range of dynamic port numbers as the source port. Applications that uses TCP. So these are the IP TCP, Telnet, SMTP, FTP, and HTTP. So these are the applications that use UDP. IPTV, VoIP, TFTP, SNMP, DNS, and DHCP. So for the summary, in this chapter you learned the role of the transport layer is not provided three main services. So these are the services: the multiplexing, segmentation, and reliability, and error checking. How TCP and UDP operate, which popular applications use each protocol. Transport layer functions are necessary to address issues at QoS and security networks. And lastly, ports provide a tunnel for data to get from the transport layer to the corporate application of the destination. So that's all for today's video. Thank you for watching.